Hello there! This is Match That Particle with me, Bingo, as your host. I'm the principal of Duke Language School and the author of Read Thai in 10 Days. How's everyone doing? This is the third installation in the series. More will be released in the near future, so click subscribe right here to get notified if you want to improve your Thai. Without further ado, for today's lesson, we'll be looking at what I collectively call request particles because they're mainly used for, you guessed it, requests. But before that, let me be clear about something. When you first started learning Thai, many of you must have tried to find out how to say please in Thai, right? Thank you for striving to be a civilized member of our society. But when you looked it up in your trusty dictionary, what you got from it was probably karuna or โปรด, right? While they indeed technically means please, they're way too formal. When you say this, กรุณาเปิดประตูครับ Thai people, hear this. กรุณาเปิดประตูครับ Karuna and โปรด can be used in spoken Thai, sure, but usually by service providers speaking to their customers. กรุณารอสักครู่นะครับคุณลูกค้า
โปรดทราบผู้โดยสารรถไฟฟ้า BTS ทุกท่าน
If you want to sound natural, avoid กรุณา and โปรด like ever. They're very jarring to Thai ears. Well, what should you use instead then? Here comes the heroes to save the day, final particles. The three request particles, หน่อย ด้วย ที are mostly associated with verbs of request, such as ขอ ช่วย รบกวน and ฝาก. These verbs rarely stand alone without any of these request particles. So, if you hear any of these verbs, you'll probably hear หน่อย ด้วย ที at the end of the sentence.
ขอดูเมนูหน่อยค่ะ ช่วยถือของให้ที
รบกวนด้วยครับ
ฝากซื้อหนมที่เซเว่นหน่อย
On the other hand, these request particles can be used on their own, in which case the sentence sort of becomes a mild command.
พูดดังๆหน่อยค่ะ ส่งซีอิ๊วมาที
เปิดประตูด้วย Despite calling them commands, the previous sentences are not rude. These commands, although not super polite, are safe to use with friends or people that you know. But if you don't use any request particle at all,
พูดดังๆ ส่งซีอิ๊วมา
เปิดประตู then you are being rude. Request particles matter. Hashtag request particles matter. On the flip side, if you want to make your requests extra polite, you can combine them with ได้ไหม much the same way that people say can you ... in English.
ขอเข้าห้องน้ำได้ไหมคะ ช่วยถือของให้ทีได้ไหม คืนนี้โทรหาด้วยได้ไหมอ่ะ
Request particles are also frequently used in conjunction with na and si, final particles. In terms of word order, the request particles come before them.
ขอกินขนมหน่อยนะ ช่วยออกค่าแท็กซี่ให้ทีสิ
รบกวนโทรหาด้วยนะครับ Don't worry, na and si will be covered in the future videos. Now let's look at each request particle. We'll start with หน่อย หน่อย as some of you might already know, literally means a little. Its function as a final particle is to sort of trivialize the request as if what the speaker is asking is just a small matter. Hence the label, small favor particle. ขอทางหน่อยครับ
ฟังครูหน่อยสินักเรียน
Darling รบกวนออกค่าเครื่องบินไป Paris ให้หน่อยนะ
In reality, what's being asked of you might not be that small, but the speaker would like you to think so. Ah! I bet you didn't know this word could be a particle. Normally, ด้วย means also or to. For example, เขาสวยด้วย เก่งด้วย or อยากไปด้วย But that's not exactly the use that we want to talk about. Deriving from its original meaning, ด้วย can be used to draw attention to yourself or to something else, as if to say, hey, I'm here as well, or you should notice this too. So it has the name attention-seeking particle. The idea is, once you got their attention, you can ask them to do your bidding.
สนใจฉันด้วย ช่วยถูตรงนั้นด้วยนะ
ฝากสวัสดีคุณพ่อคุณแม่ด้วยครับ Well, the attention-seeking aspect of ด้วย might not always be apparent, so don't get too caught up with the name, okay? T literally means number of times, such as once, twice, etc. Kind of similar to ครั้ง but T can also be used as a final particle. When you end a request with T, it's like asking someone to do you a favor just this once, which makes it sound like a plea. ช่วยตามช่างมาซ่อมไฟให้ที
หยุดบ่นทีขอร้อง
บอกฉันทีว่าทำไมเธอต้องไป
And from the pleading aspect of the particle, it has the name, the pleading particle. As you can see, we have quite a few options to say please in Thai. So, how do you choose which ones to use? Well, the answer can be both complicated and simple. Each request particle is different in a subtle way, as we've discussed it in this video. But realistically, what difference would it make in actual conversation? Here's an example. สั่งอาหารหน่อยครับ Asking a waiter to take your orders is something that you do at restaurants. You're not asking much here. So, หน่อย is perfect for the job. สั่งอาหารเทครับ In this one, it's as if you're begging the waiter to take your order. Maybe you've been waiting to be served a long time because you sound like you're losing your patience. But if you actually just arrived, using T might make it sound like you have zero ability to wait for your turn. Take another example of how to say help me in Thai.
ช่วยด้วย ช่วยฉันด้วย
ด้วย is appropriate for this situation because when you're in danger, it's important that you draw attention to yourself. It's literally a matter of life and death. But what if we change the particle?
ช่วยหน่อยนะ ช่วยหน่อยได้ไหม
It just doesn't have enough impact to highlight how dire your situation is. No one's gonna come to your rescue. You might as well say bye-bye to your wallet. Having said all that, these three request particles can be used interchangeably most of the time. Whichever one you pick, what you say will still be understood as a request. So don't be afraid to make mistakes. Just try them all out. Well done to you for watching the entire lesson today. These three request particles are extremely important in making requests in Thai because they are essentially the only natural way to say please in Thai. Just get acquainted with them. So see you guys in the next video. Subscribe to our channel for more lessons. I'm excited to churn more of them out for learners like yourselves. Until next time, happy learning! Okay, bye!
พูดดังๆหน่อยค่ะ คืนนี้โทรหาด้วยได้ไหมอ่ะ Darling รบกวนออกครับ
ส่งซีอิ๊วมา
ช่วยถูตรงนั้นด้วยนะ
เดี๋ยวนะ เมื่อกี้มันใช่ไหมอ่ะ
ช่วยหน่อยนะ ช่วยหน่อยได้ไหม
อะไรประมาณเนี้ย
ยังไม่เอา
เอานี่ยังไม่เอา นี่คือซ้อมเฉย
เล่นใหญ่มาก
ๆ